Hello and welcome into the RotoWire Esports Show. I am Andrew Laird, joined as always by Ethan Sexton. Today, talk about Saturday's 5-game MSI slate. Ethan, there was one favorite that lost today, and I played them.
Yeah, ditto, man. If only I think we talked a little bit yesterday about how we liked Mad Lions and Cloud9 for the prices.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we both played the wrong one, right? So a little bit of a womp womp for us. I don't know, man. Cloud9 looking shaky. Gave him a pass yesterday against Damwon because, it's Damwon, No big deal. And they were competitive at least yesterday. Today they just looked pretty bad for the most part and really struggled. It brings to mind, though, historically, Cloud9 at these international events are a second half of the round robin team, which I didn't even think about that until today when they lost. I was like, yeah, they're 0-2, but then I was like, well, crap. I mean, at Worlds, they're usually like the last North American team that has a chance to qualify out of groups, and it's usually they have to make some like heroic run in the second half of the group stage. So maybe that's what they're just sticking to that philosophy or something. I don't know, but that was a painful one today. And insult to injury for me is if Detonation Focus Me had beaten Infinity yesterday, I think I would have looked at them pretty hard today as an underdog because, when we first started talking about MSI, I said how I kind of like them as potential to maybe cause some upsets in their group. And then they looked like crap against what I thought was going to be the worst team in the group. And then, of course, they won today against the team that I played against them. So, off to a great start here, man.
I think the one thing we can pat ourselves on the back for, and by we, I mean pat you on the back, is the PSG call for today. PNG, what we were saying, was the obvious place that we thought people would go with RNG, and it certainly looked like there were plenty of those lineups, and PSG absolutely just crushed. Yeah,
that was nice to see at least. They were like 15-ish% owned, a little more, a little less, depending on the player. They absolutely stomped, which was nice to see, just because we were on them for that. But it didn't matter because I was heavy on Cloud9, so I was kind of screwed no matter what. But at least from a getting something right perspective, I'm glad that they won. RNG keep humming along, man. Absolutely smashing again today. And Damwon, ho hum. They're probably gonna go 6-0 in the group, at least based off these first 2 days. And then the other takeaway I think so far is like, do we need to start focusing in heavier on teams that are playing the Istanbul Wildcats, because both of their games have been absolute slugfest so far. They lost them both, and both teams have scored well. In those games that feature the Wildcats there. So is that something we should be on the lookout for moving forward? Maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was going through some numbers just from the first 2 days, basically. Let me see if I can pull them up here. So Istanbul Wildcats, 23.5 deaths they're averaging in their 2 games so far, but 20 kills also. It looks great. PSG, their numbers look a little down just because they got absolutely crushed in their first game, but they then crushed in the second. So you game stacking?
I'm probably not going to do it, let's be honest. But it's like very tempting because, we saw the upside that PSG possessed today, getting over 20 kills in their game. And, Istanbul Wildcats, to your point that you just mentioned, they're giving away an absolute boatload of deaths, but they're also picking up a ton of kills in their game. So, I can't really fault anyone that wants to game stack, just based on these first 2 days. But, it's still so inherently risky because you need so much to just go right, not only with that game, but, with every game on the slate. So probably not where I'm going to go, but yeah, it's very, very tempting based off these first 2 days, right?
For sure. So I went Cloud9 and Mad Lions yesterday, and obviously Mad Lions PSG would have been perfectly fine. The Cloud9 just ruining it. But basically all the teams that we were thinking of yesterday, we're thinking of for this Saturday slate as well, or for today's slate and then Saturday slate. Like Damwon, RNG, Cloud9, Mad Lions, PSG, all the favorites, all decently sized favorites. You're not going to be able to play RNG without an underdog, so you're going to have to figure out which one that you like. I'm actually not even sure if they fit with Istanbul. I haven't, to be honest, I didn't even try because I was just like, their RNG is always so expensive.
Right. Yeah, their prices are getting a little crazy. Like Xiaohu's up to 7K, which is, like 200 less than Maple, 400 less than Humanoid, and 600 less than guys like Carzy. So like he's getting up there into 80 or mid lane price range for a top laner. But it's hard to argue it because RNG have absolutely smashed, and we know from the LPL slates, right, that Xiaohu can carry from the top.
For sure.
So he's deserving of those prices. It's really like difficult to pay up for RNG because what you're going to get with the rest of your lineup is such a crapshoot because you have to take one of the. It's like you can't even take the higher price underdogs for the most part, right? So you've got to take, like, for tomorrow's slate, you got to take a shot on like Infinity, and Cloud9 have not performed well so far, so maybe people end up going there, or you got to look at like Pain Gaming, but like Pain Gaming are priced to the point where I'm not even sure that you can use them, you know what I mean? And I'm not sure I would want to. They won, of course, in that comeback style on day one, but they've looked pretty shaky, especially their bottom lane. So I don't really like them at all. And then like Istanbul Wildcats are maybe priced where you can play them with RNG, but do you feel great about doing that? I don't know. So like RNG are definitely prohibitively priced again. So, just like we said for the first two slates, you kind of gotta start with whether you want to use them or not, and then you can fill out your lineup, how from there, basically.
Yeah, I think the answer is just going to always be no for me. I just don't see, at least on a slate like this, where I have to get the underdog right.
Yeah,
and I also am playing the horrific underdogs, one of which I can't play because they're playing RNG, and so like you run out of spots.
Basically you're already lopping off, if you think about playing RNG, you're not going to game stack. So you're already lopping off UOL for tomorrow. And then like we're probably never going to want to play the underdog playing Damwon either.
Right.
So that takes two right there, and that's two of the four teams that you can potentially fit with RNG. So it already makes it pretty difficult.
I think that's the problem, is that we're now basically down to two underdogs. And actually, I'm not sure when we say like you can't fit them in, we generally mean you can't fit them in with one of the carry captains.
Right.
Sometimes you can get a double support or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, it's like, I guess we have spoken previously that what we want to do is like reduce the player pool to a point where we're like, these are the guys that we're going to focus on. So I guess it helps in some way. That's like, well, I'm not playing Damwon. I'm not going to play whoever plays Damwon. I'm not going to play whoever plays RNG.
Yep.
Based on the prices, I'm not playing RNG either. So now we're basically down to a 3-game slate.
Yep.
And you can't even play the higher priced underdogs. 2-game slate. So you can't play the higher priced underdogs because they don't fit with RNG anyway. And we're not going to play them with Damwon. So, like, are we just left with Mad Lions and PSG at this point? I don't want to play Cloud9 either.
Yeah, right. I definitely like both of those teams a lot for their prices. If I'm going after one, I think it's Mad Lions. I think Mad Lions are too cheap on the slate.
I agree.
I think kind of what's clouding the pricing and the odds and stuff, like being closer than I think they should be. Like, they're 80% to win on these odds, which is obviously insanely high, but it's only the fourth highest on the slate just because we've got some other massive favorites. I think that Pain Gaming's comeback win on day one is kind of clouding the pricing and all that stuff. Pain Gaming, I think, have looked really bad actually overall. And I think what makes me like Mad Lions so much for tomorrow's slate, well, one, it's the pricing. Like we said, you get a decent price break from some of the other big favorites.
Yeah.
And the second thing is I think that their bottom lane has looked great. Carzzy and Kaiser, I think, have been awesome so far through their first 2 games. And I think BRTT and Lucy, I forgot. Sorry about that. A lot of new players here. Got to remember their names. I think they've looked awful. I think BRTT has been horrible in the first 2 games, including the game they won. He was really bad. So I think that gap, positional gap tomorrow is really going to play advantageously for Mad Lions. So I think you get some decent salary savings. They've shown how well they can score in these first 2 games. So I think Mad Lions will be is a great spot to start lineups tomorrow. I think they might end up being fairly chalky though as well, because you do get the salary savings and a pretty favorable matchup here.
Do you think we ever get to a point where we want to play Damwon? I mean, obviously we run out of teams at some point, but like it just seems like for the group stage at least, I just don't see a benefit of ever playing them other than you're almost playing them because there does seem to be some leverage because people are smart enough to not play them, but we obviously know they're going to win. But it's just like you go in just feeling like you're locking in a win and the 4th highest fantasy points.
Yeah, exactly right. The problem with Damwon is like I think that they're probably going to win the tournament. Like right now, it looks like it'll come down to them and RNG, right? Yeah. They've been the best, but like for DFS, like Damwon's prices are so close to RNG. And Damwon haven't shown that same upside that RNG have.
For sure.
So why would you pay, I would just find a way to get to RNG if I was thinking about playing Damwon. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. It's like on those UCL slates for soccer when you got to pick out forwards and like Ciro Immobile is priced the same as like Ronaldo or something. And it's like, well, Ronaldo has 4 goal upside and, I'm trying to make a cross sport analogy here,
sure.
But it's sort of like that. Like, why would, I don't know. Like, I think Damwon are honestly probably the better team than RNG, but we'll probably end up finding that out at some point in this tournament. But like for DFS purposes, I can't justify paying for Damwon over RNG. If Damwon were like, priced $600 less than RNG, then maybe it would be more like in the discussion. But when they're only $200 in every single role, cheaper, it's hard for me to really think that they have the same upside for basically the same price.
Yeah, the team slot's the only one I'd ever consider.
Yeah, definitely. I think the team slot's a safe bet pretty much in any matchup. But like even the team spot, they're the most expensive team, right? So it makes it even kind of like, I don't know, not even worth it unless you have the money left over after you build the rest of your lineup. So yeah, unfortunately, like love watching them play, love a lot of their players. They're great. They're awesome. They're really fun to watch, but for DFS, they just don't produce the same kind of point totals as other teams. Right. So it's tough.
I think the perfect situation is to use them with this PSG Wildcats game stack.
Yeah, there you go. Because you're getting the safety of the team slot, a lot of objectives probably. So yeah, if you're going game stack, or like even if you're going, if you can do like Mad Lions and PSG or something, but then you have enough money for the Damwon team slot, that's not a bad way to go either. You probably don't, but if possible, I honestly think we're not. To your point, I think you said this as well, but I don't think we'll use Damwon at all until we get into best of series.
Yeah. Do you think Cloud9 is the lowest owned favorite?
I think so, just because they've looked awful. We give them a pass on day one, like we said, because it's Damwon, the defending world champs, and probably the team that's going to end up winning this tournament. But they did not look good at all today against Detonation Focus Me. So it's really hard for me to want to go there. I just don't make enough lineups. It does present an interesting leverage opportunity then, though, right? Because if they're the lowest owned favorite, this is kind of a must-win game because you figure they're going to lose to Damwon again. So they're going to want to get both 2 wins against this Infinity side, and then they're going to, for second place in the group, it's probably going to come down to them beating Detonation Focus Me in the rematch. So they're going to want to get, they're really going to want to get on the board with their first win tomorrow. It's just, man, they've looked shaky and, Mad Lions and PSG have shown way more upside so far at cheaper prices. So I do think that Cloud9 end up being pretty low owned in a decent spot. I think they probably rebound and should get a win tomorrow, but what's it going to look like is the major question.
I mean, the Infinity games haven't been, that bloody either, I think is one of the problems that I guess one of them was against Damwon, but like theoretically Damwon, I hate saying that Damwon should rack them up and they don't, but they do that against everyone. So maybe 16 kills from Damwon is a lot. And so maybe the upside is there. I just feel like from this long sample size of 2 games that we have from Infinity, like teams aren't like racking up 20 kills yet.
Right. That's fair.
Cloud9's not going to be that good. I don't know.
Yeah. I think you throw in all those factors and they're definitely like the riskiest favorite by far, in my opinion. But that in multi-entry or, really large field GPP, it presents an opportunity to get a favored team at, maybe like 10% ownership instead of like 15, 20. So, there's some opportunity there as well. But, like for me, I just don't play enough lineups. So I'm not really looking that direction for tomorrow.
Yeah. I wonder if the ownership on Infinity is actually close to Cloud9's, just because they might be like if we think that Cloud9's the lowest owned favorite and Infinity could be, I guess.
You could see, yeah.
Maybe I think Istanbul Wildcats.
Yeah. I think if people are playing RNG, then they're going to look pretty hard at Infinity, right? Just because that's the cheapest underdog that has a shot of winning. Right. Like no one's, obviously if you're playing RNG, you're not going to use UOL, and then nobody's really going to play DFM against Damwon. So I think, if people are going all the way up to RNG, I think they might look to pair them up with Infinity, just because Cloud9 have not been very good to start this tournament. But I do like Cloud9 to win tomorrow, so I'm not looking at Infinity. I'm just not looking at Cloud9 either, because I'm not sure that they're going to have the upside of some of these other teams. Yeah,
you can definitely play RNG Infinity with like a Gala or Cryan captain. So
yeah. So that might end up being pretty popular, right? Just from the nature of how bad Cloud9 have been, and it gets you a huge favorite that has pushed 20 kills in their first 2 games, right? And likely to do so again tomorrow. Yeah. So I think popular lineup construction. Yeah.
I don't think like they're the only one basically that you can play with RNG, because you're not playing UOL, you're not playing DFM, and then Istanbul Wildcats and Pain Gaming don't fit salary wise with RNG. So you're literally only left with Infinity. And so, yeah, we saw it today. We were like, everybody's playing RNG PNG. So RNG Infinity today is for Saturday's slate's the only one that actually fits.
Right. Yep. So I could see that being popular for sure.
Yeah. I know I'm not playing Cloud9. That's the only thing I know.
Yeah. So, congrats to the people with the fortitude to go to Cloud9, get them at 10%, and tomorrow's the day they pop off, right? So I could see that happening. I don't feel great about it and don't make enough lineups that I want to really get a lot of exposure to Cloud9 tomorrow. Yeah, the stupidest thing would be a Cloud9 Infinity game stack that takes it down with like a Damwon or RNG team slot, because you can afford it. Because yeah, that would be miserable. So yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. All right. If you guys have enjoyed the video, if you could please hit the like button below. Feel free to subscribe to all the RotoWire videos. We will be back tomorrow because the slates keep on coming. We'll be previewing Sunday's slate tomorrow and Saturday. So come on back for that. Ethan, thank you for that, and good luck on Saturday. Yeah, same to you, man. So tomorrow will be interesting. We'll have to see what DraftKings gives us, because Sunday starts the slates where it's all the same group on the same day to wrap up the group stages. So we might get a lot of like the first group, since there's only 3 teams, I have no clue how they're going to do it. The rest of them, we might get a lot of 2-2-2 type slate or something like that. So, but we'll be here to discuss whatever they give us. So we'll talk to you guys then.
Try RotoWire today, free for 10 days. Get our premium tools, rankings, analysis, and breaking news alerts. No credit card required. Go to rotowire.com/try.